Man, I gotta tell you, it's been a while since I've been this excited about a fishing trip. I left a little bit late this morning on purpose because I didn't want to get here pre-dawn because it's been foggy here in South Louisiana for the past 3 or 4 days. Definitely thick fog today. But the reason we have this fog is because it's been so warm and water temperatures have severely elevated. And that's got me thinking about catching topwater speckled trout. I did some map study at home last night, identified some areas that really look good, and now I'm about to launch my boat and go check them out, see what the water looks like, see if I can find some bait, and most importantly, see if I can find some really big speckled trout. Only bad thing is I'm definitely gonna have to take my time getting out there because it's pretty much pea soup. All right, it was definitely a wet ride getting out here, but I'm at the first of the lakes that I identified on the map that I really want to fish, and several things have me really excited. One of which is the water temperature, 66 degrees in here. That's just prime. Other thing is this water clarity. It is just gorgeous. Tells me there's probably a lot of grass in this area. Now, I haven't seen any bait yet, but I'm about to begin my troll just to see if I can run across any, because bait is definitely important. No prey, no predators. I, without question, like our chances. This could be a really good day. So topwater fishing is all about patience and covering water. A lot of people give it just a few minutes and then give up. I'll do this all day. The payoffs are well worth it. We do have a little bit of wind this morning, which is unusual with this much fog. I'm 100% confident that if there are trout around, they will hit topwater today. No guarantee we'll find them, but the hunt is what makes it fun. Now, one thing we do have working against us today is a falling tide. For fishing these topwater baits and getting these fish up on these flats, I really feel like a rising tide is a whole lot better. Oh, first little swipe. Not much, but it was a... Oh, there we go. Come on back. Oh. All right, first hit. First blow up. He hit it twice. I don't think he was very big, though. All right, we got our grass. All right, so far, so bad. 2 good blow-ups. Well, not even really good blow-ups, just blow-ups. I don't think they were very big fish. And that's it. So spot number 1 is looking like a dud. I may throw a cork a little bit just to see if there's any trout around. But I think any fish that are here are small. I'm kind of intimidated by my big she-dog. But that's okay. The thrill for me is the hunt.
This episode of Marsh Man Masson brought to you by Puglia Sporting Goods.
All right, there's a fish. There's a fish. Not on my topwater. On a cork, but hopefully he's a keeper. All right, first speckled trout of the day. Definitely a keeper, about a 15-inch fish. Fog has gotten so bad I can barely see my cork. Nope. Oh, missed him. There he is. There he is. Come on, surf on in. I'll tell you what, this is awesome. Speckled trout have been tough to come by in South Louisiana this winter. So this is definitely a good sign. Some better days in the spring. Open up, dude. Ow. Here comes company. Let me get my cork out the way. Hopefully that boat didn't spook my trout. He ran right over the school. Oh, there they are. They're still there. They're still there. That feels like a better fish. Well, he's not a giant, but he's about 15 inches. That's where you like to hook them. Right there. Good keeper trout. So what I'm fishing is where this lake meets a deep bayou, and the fish are right on the edge. Seems like a pretty decent school. There's another one. And they're definitely aggressive in this 67-degree water. Boom. They're all out of a mold. So look, I'd much rather catch them on top than under a cork. But when they're not gonna hit top, This is a good plan B. Can't complain about this. And my rig right now is a Versamax bolt cork. About maybe 2.5, maybe 3 feet a leader below it, with a 1/16 ounce death grip jig head and a Holy Jolly matrix shad. You've heard me say it before, but I really like the Holy Jolly in water that has this level of clarity. And the clarity right now is, oh, go, go, go. Oh, he missed it. The clarity right now is just really fantastic. Man, I can hear lots of boats running around. There's a fish. Now, he doesn't feel like one that'll go on the wall. Hopefully he makes the cut. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna make it. What are you? What are you? Oh, it's a bass. He pulled it to the side. Did not hit like a trout, that's for sure. Largemouth bass. Marsh bass. Add him to the team. Oh, shoot. Swing and a miss. Come on back. I won't miss you again. Baby, come back. All right, you've heard me say it before. The bad thing with these death grip jig heads is your baits end up looking terrible before they'll slide off. This one I can't even get off. There we go. But this is a Holy Jolly colored matrix shad. It looks tobacco stained. It's just been on so long. It's just nasty. Look at the difference. So I'm gonna put a fresh one on. See if these fish respond. My bite is definitely slowed down. And I really want to go resume my topwater hunt, but I want to make sure we fish this out first. Don't want to leave feeding fish here. Oh! Fish on, fish on. Another, oh no, he's actually bigger than I thought. No, I don't know. I don't know. Should go on my first instinct. He's pretty little. Yeah, definite throwback. And some more. Must mean it's time to mosey. All right, too much boat traffic in here. This water's really shallow, so I don't think these fish are gonna hang around with that much activity. I'm gonna go check this point before I go, and that'll be it. Be back on our topwater quest. All right, seems like our school has skedaddled, and that means it's time for us to do the same. May end up coming back here before the day is out, but I wanna go find some topwater fish. That's what I came to do. It's a nice interlude catching these speckled trout on a popping cork, but we got a mission. Time to carry it out.
This episode of Marsh Man Masson brought to you by Matrix Shad, and by Magnolia Vodka, and by Cito New Orleans, and by Versamax Corks, and by Death Grip Jig Heads.
All right, I made a couple of changes. I made a big move to an entirely different area. I'm happy to report that the water is just as pretty here, really the same color. I also changed my bait. I had a greenback she-dog at my last stop, and I switched over to a kind of a muted chartreuse she-dog. I've had a lot of success with this color in the past. It's also got a gold belly as opposed to a chrome belly. You can see this one's well used. It's all chipped up, but I've caught a lot of fish on this color. I'm not seeing any bait yet, but I'm hoping to run across some. This lake's also a little bit deeper than the one I left. I was fishing about 3 feet of water there, and right now I'm fishing about 4 feet of water. Now, I'll tell you what's killing our topwater venture today is a lack of mullet, and the fog is kind of making it difficult to find bait. I can't really see it while I'm running, so I'm having to just cover water with my trolling motor, and I'm just not seeing any bait at all. So important for this topwater bite. Really, for any bite, gotta find the bait. All right, while the action's a little slow, I'm gonna eat a little lunch, and that gives me the opportunity to tell you about something that I've got in the works. Check this out. This is an RTIC Cito ice chest. It's a 45 quart, if you see that on the side. This This is the first time I've ever used it. It's the only time I'm gonna use it. And the reason why is because it can be yours. After this trip, I'm gonna take it home, clean it up, get it as good as new, and give it away to a viewer. Now, all you have to do is share this video on Facebook or Twitter and tag me in it, and I'll add you to a drawing. We're gonna give this ice chest away when we hit 10,000 subscribers. And we're really closing in on that. It's gonna happen sometime this month. So that's all you gotta do. Just share the video, tag me in it, and you're automatically entered for this awesome ice chest. Now let's see what's for lunch. I made some ribs last night, so I made a rib sandwich this morning. That's gonna be delicious. My own version of the McRib. Oh, he missed it. Trout jumped right over the bait. Oh, the bait. Oh, the bait. Oh, the bait. Oh. Oh, goodness. Hopefully I came out on camera. That was crazy. All right, I got one more lake I want to fish, and on the way to it are a bunch of bayous that look really, really good. So I may fish those for reds and bass on my way to throw topwater baits down in that lake. Man, we just got to find some bait. That's just so important. Just cannot find it. All right, the water in this little bayou isn't as deep as I'd like, but I do see some bait in it. So we're gonna try and catch a bass or a redfish in here. Got a gold H&H spinner, and we got some grass. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, come on, stay on. Feeling redfish like. Oh yeah. Right in that Trenas mouth. Look where he was. Yeah, it's definitely a redfish. Man, look at the size of this fish. He didn't fight that hard initially, but he's a nice fish. There we go. Oh, he was hooked well. Man, you can tell it's not winter anymore. These fish are feisty. See how big he is. Right, he's about 24 inches. We're gonna let him go. All right, so that fish came on a number 4, I think it's a number 4 H&H gold spinner, Colorado blade, with a 1/4 ounce death grip jig head and a Marsh Man special mad mullet. And he was right in that Trenas mouth. Now, it could be another one there, but I've made a lot of racket in here, so I doubt it. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, feeling redfish-like again. Now, that's a little bit better fish. Actually, I think he's probably a throwback. But I like those little reds. I like the little 16 to 18 inchers. But this one's, I think, about 14, maybe 15. I'm not even gonna measure him. We'll just let him go. Get along with his day. So these straight man-made canals just are never as interesting to me as natural bayous. I mean, these can definitely hold fish, no question about it. But it's difficult to predict where those fish might be. You just gotta kind of make a bunch of blind, dumb casts. The fish are much more predictable, in my opinion, in bayous. Now, when these canals have cuts coming into them, little drains, that gives you something to focus on. This one seems to be just featureless. All right, time to leave our canal. Maybe we'll find a good windy bayou on the way. All right, here's a bayou with what looks like some cuts coming into it. And you can see it's got some exposed bank telling you that that water is lower than average and it's still falling, so it's a good thing. Can concentrate some fish at those Trenas mouths. All right, here's a nice drain coming up. What I'll do when I'm approaching a drain like that is wait to make a cast until I can make a good cast. I don't want to just bomb all around it, make a bunch of noise, spook anything that's there. All right, let's see what we got. Man, I got a bump. Shoot. Must have been a little fish. All right, valiant effort, but nothing doing in this little bayou. Time to find something else. All right, our bayou tour is continuing, and I'm really intrigued by this one. It's got some 9-foot deep water in some of these bends, and the water's really pretty. And not only that, but when I was running in here, I saw a bunch of shorebirds all along this shoreline. And when they took off, a bunch of bait scattered. Bait, pretty water, moving water, depth. Seems like we got everything we need. Now we just gotta make something happen. I'm throwing an electric blue Zoom U-tail worm, just because that's what I got tied on. I may switch from this if I don't get any bites, but I think I'm gonna get bites. There's a fish. Flounder. All right. Flounder on my Zoom U-tail worm. Haven't seen one of these in a few months. We get a picture and send it to Joel. He's gonna be surprised. All right, so if you're keeping score at home, that completes the Marsh Slam. We caught speckled trout, largemouth bass, redfish, and now flounder. All right, that's good to see. Man, catching a big 5-pound trout on top would have certainly made my day, but that flounder comes close just because they've been few and far between here in South Louisiana lately. Generally, our 2 big flounder runs are in the fall and in the spring, but we haven't really had much of a run the past 2 or 3 years at least. I feel like we should have caught more fish in this bayou. Seen a good amount of bait. Water's gorgeous, ripping through here. Got some good depth, some good eddies, but we did get our flounder, so it wasn't a complete loss. All right, we're back on the quest for the topwater fish. I'm in a no-name bay. It looks good on a map. Water looks really good. Just pulling up in here, I don't see, unfortunately, any bait. Again, I don't know where the mullet are. That's really, I feel, what's hurting us on this topwater bite. All right, nothing on this stop. Onward and upward. The hunt continues. All right, this is a cove on the lake that I've been really wanting to get to. Now, unfortunately, the wind has picked up. It's really blowing now, probably 15 or so. But I'm gonna make a nice long drift through this cove, see if I can find anything. Yeah, the wind has gotten terrible. It's been blowing the whole day, but nothing like this. And wind and topwater fishing go together like crab meat and ice cream. So I'm starting to feel like I'm trying to force something that really isn't there. And I'm just surprised it isn't. I really thought these conditions were perfect. I mean, obviously until this wind started blowing, just perfect for this topwater bite. And it just hasn't happened today. Seems like whenever you think fish are predictable, they love to prove you wrong. So I think what I'm gonna do is go back to where I started the day. I'd still like to put a few more trout in the box. I may throw topwater, or I may just throw corks. I may catch fish, I may not catch fish. I don't know. All right, time to run, time to run. Topwater, you failed me. You failed me. All right, back in the lake where I started the day. Throwing a cork. Just want to put a few more speckled trout in the boat, if possible. And the wind is terrible. There's a fish. I think he's a keeper too. If we can get him in the boat. He's kind of shrinking. Let's see. May not be a keeper. Oh, he got off. He was small anyway. Definitely a throwback. Oh, look at this is. Big red fish. Does he even know he's hooked yet? Oh, now he does. There he goes. This is a big red. All right, let's loosen this drag. So it doesn't steal my whole rig. We're gonna be here a while. This fish is a monster. I mean a monster. So I saw my cork go down, so obviously something hit it, but when I set the hook, I thought for sure I had set it into the oyster reef or something, because it didn't budge. Almost fighting like a big drum. Wouldn't surprise me at all if this is a big black drum. I tell you, I really want to see this fish because he is extremely powerful. Feels like I'm fighting a Volkswagen. He's not close to done. There's the cork. Wait till he sees the boat and takes off. Nope, big black drum. I was right. I mean, a monster. Look at this fish. That is a gorilla. All right, dude. I'll make a deal with you. You let me grab you, get that hook out your mouth, and I will let you go. Come on. I know, you're done. You're exhausted, I can tell. You're not the only one exhausted. Let me grab that cork. Don't pull this line through my hand. All right, got the cork. I don't know how I'm gonna get this fish in the boat. Look at the size of this black drum. I mean, that is a giant. That may be the biggest black drum I've ever caught in my life. Oh, look at this fish. Holy Toledo, that is a giant. All right, the death grip held up. Now we gotta let this big boy go. That's a 50 to 60 pound fish. He's just giant. All right, big boy, good night. All right, there he is. He's swimming off. Sometimes the best thing you can do with those big fish, I still see him right here. If he pops up, we're gonna go get him. There he is. There he is. He's underwater. He's righting himself. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just shock him and throw him right in. I think he's gonna be okay. Definitely don't want to kill that fish. So look at all the lice that were on him. I don't know if they're lice, what they're called. Look at these things. They're all over my boat now. All right, smart man would retie, but I don't think any of these trout are gonna break me off. So that's now the 5th species of fish that we caught today. I've only got 3 of them in the ice chest because I let the redfish and that black drum go. Let's see what this is. Feels like a trout. Last 3 trout I think I've lost. So let's see if we can get him in the boat. Yep, it is a trout. Not a particularly big one, but he is a keeper. There we go. Oh, he wasn't hooked all that well. Good thing we got him. Feels like another throwback. Yeah, he might be growing. Oh yeah, he's growing. That's a keeper. There's a fish. There's a fish. That's a speckled trout. Are you gonna grow on the way in too? I hope so. He's a keeper. Yes, there we go. There's another one. All right, man, this is awesome. This is awesome. Running all around today and finding these fish right where I left them this morning. Another keeper. These fish are in the most inconvenient spot possible relative to this wind. After every cast, I get a big belly in my line that I have to reel in before I can set the hook. There's one. There's one. Stay down so you don't throw that hook. Stay down. There you go. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, that's a good fish. Come on. There we go. Look at you. Well, you ain't that good, but you are a keeper. You will be eating this weekend. There's another one. Yeah, he came up. He's not staying down. He's not going to cooperate. As long as that hook stays in, I don't care what he does. Look at that, how pretty. Man, I love these fish. Love them, love them. Speckled trout, baby. These are definitely my favorites. I'm filling up the RTIC ice chest, which again can be yours. Don't forget. That's one where that line, that bowed line killed me. But his buddy wasn't so lucky. I don't think he's gonna make the cut. He feels pretty small. Oh, I don't know. He's gonna hit the tape. Bigger than I thought. There's another one. If this fish is 12 inches, which I think he is, and I get him in the boat, that'll be number 25, which is my legal limit. The law says I may keep no more. All right, so not every trip can go exactly according to plan, and this one certainly didn't. I couldn't get a single speckled trout to take my topwater bait. Really surprising, given the good conditions we had today. I'm not giving up on them, believe me. At some point this month, they're gonna bite topwaters. But it's difficult in conditions as good as we had today to have a bad fishing trip here in South Louisiana. And certainly I didn't have a bad trip. Caught a limit of speckled trout, also some redfish, a bass, a flounder, and a black drum. I'll take a trip like that any day. Well, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the Marsh Man Masson channel on YouTube. And leave a comment in the comment section below. Have you been catching any speckled trout this year? And if so, what techniques are you using to do so? Don't forget to share the video on Facebook or Twitter and tag me in it, and you'll be automatically entered for the giveaway of that ice chest. And let me tell you, that thing is nice. Well, until next time, if we don't see you in the marsh, we'll see you right here on Marsh Man Masson.